Here's the question. How many shoes is too many shoes?
What's up, guys? Are you looking to add a new basketball shoe to your sneaker rotation, or maybe just a pair of shoes that you want to break in this off season? Well, as a pro, I run through a ton of shoes. I'm talking a ton of shoes. I know what works for me, what doesn't, why I wear certain pairs, and all other sorts of things about sneakers. So I'm gonna run you guys through my sneaker rotation, and stay tuned till the end for a super exclusive pair and my newest addition to my rotation, brought to you by my good friends at kicks.com. So let's get right to it. So for my sneaker rotation, I'm gonna rank each shoe in 3 categories: style, comfort, performance, and then I'll give it an overall summary. So for my first shoe, I'm going with my go-to Kobe 6s. For me, these are top of the line shoe. I think the Kobe 6 silhouette, they were great when they first released, and they're still great. These red ones here, I got a lot of memories in them. I actually won my first overseas basketball championship in them last year in Benfica. You know, they've been through a lot of battles, as you can see. They're pretty worn down right here, but I keep these in the rotation just for emergencies, in case I need some good energy and to fight some of my superstitions. Now, my newest Kobe 6s are these Kobe 6 All-Stars. They have these really cool pattern. Instead of the normal scales, they have these stars. And when it comes to Kobe 6s, they're the most comfortable Kobe. They have great cushioning, great support, and as always, they grip the floor great. So in terms of style, I'm giving these Kobe's a 9. In terms of comfort, I'm probably also giving them a 9. Just because sometimes the outside is a little rigid. And in terms of performance, I'm giving them a 10. I've played a lot of good games in them, and you know, for me, they're like a goated shoe. Overall, I'm giving these a 9.3 out of 10. Definitely a top sneaker for me. Now, the next sneaker in my sneaker rotation is the Kobe 8. Now, these were an all-time shoe when they first released, but a lot of people are saying that the new releases aren't as high of quality as the OGs. I don't know what it is, but sometimes for me, it took a really long time to break these in. And also the midsole is not as movable, I would say. They also have this Kobe 8s are really kind of interesting. They have what's called a drop insole. So you can't, if you wear insoles, you can't really replace them, because then it's gonna feel like you're just like walking barefoot on the court and you have no cushioning. So a lot of people, this is kind of a hit or miss for most hoopers, the drop insole. I like it, but at the end of the day, it's a little funky and it's different than all my other shoes, so it can be really hard for me to adjust and switch in and out of these. But in terms of style, I really like these, right? They have a lot of really cool colorways. For me, this gray isn't the coolest, it's more of a team colorway. This is a practice beater for me. But like these Kobe 8 Venice Beaches, this colorway is legendary. You can see I've absolutely worn these to the ground. When you really wear these, they start to get some wear and tear around here where your foot bends. But overall, a really good shoe and one of my favorites. In terms of style, I'm giving these an 8 because I like the colorways, but they're not, for me, I don't like this silhouette the same way I like the Kobe 6. In terms of comfort, I'm giving them a 6 out of 10. I don't love the drop insole. Some hoopers do, and some people would give this like a 9. But it just feels a little bit too minimalistic for me. There's not enough support in the heel, kind of in the forefoot, and so sometimes it feels like I'm clapping the floor. And yeah, again, with these new released Kobe 8s, they're not performing the same as the OGs, so I'm gonna give the performance a 6. Overall, solid shoe, but not my favorite. I'd give them a 6.7 out of 10. My next shoe is the Kobe 9. These are very similar stylistically to the Kobe 8. They also have the drop insole. I got these halos, and you know, they're all white, so they looked great before I wore them, and after 3 wears, they're now gray. So take that as you will, but the white colorway, normally great, but again, now not so great. I do think they have a better lacing system than the Kobe 8s. They lock onto your foot a little bit better, and this middle area is a lot more flexible than the 8s, so these are able to break in a lot faster. If you were to order these, I would order them a half size small. They run a little big, and similar to the Kobe 8s and the Kobe 6s, the Kobe 9s are definitely a guard shoe. So if you make more dynamic movements on the court, you don't need a lot of cushioning, I would go with the Kobe 9 and the Kobe 8. Stylistically, I like these better than the Kobe 8. but less than the Kobe 6. So I'm gonna give these an 8 out of 10. Comfort, 7 out of 10, more comfortable than the Kobe 8s, but again, still with the drop insole, I'm not in love with them. Then performance, I'd give them about a 7 as well. A little funky if you're not used to the drop insole, already said that. So overall, I'd give these about a 7.2 out of 10, and they're ranked 3rd right now. All right, the next sneaker in my rotation are the Book 1s. These are one of the hottest shoes of 2024, 2025, and I think it's super valid. These are, I would say, the most comfortable shoe probably of the year. Debatable, but they were great because they broke in immediately. It took me 1 or 2 wears, and already they felt like they were game ready. The only issue with them, I would say, performance-wise, is they have really bad creasing, and sometimes this kind of forefoot area, it's super flimsy and bends. Some people like that, half and half on it, but I really like most of these colorways. They're super fun, super wild, but also you have some lame colorways that I think Nike missed a little bit, and that's why you can get Books at almost any retail store. They're not just selling out like hotcakes, but they have great traction. For Devin Booker's first shoe, I mean, it's pretty incredible. A lot of sneakers takes a couple shoes to kind of dial up what they want out of their shoe. He nailed it with this one. And I mean, with the Air Force silhouette, it looks like a lifestyle shoe, so some people will half and half on that. I like that they look like lifestyle shoes, and you can also hoop in them. I'd say style, I'm giving them an 8 out of 10. Comfort, I'd give them a 9 out of 10, super comfortable. And then performance, I'd give them an 8 out of 10 as well. Great grip, just sometimes a little bit heavy. So overall, I'm gonna give them 8.3 out of 10. Now the next shoe we have is the Sabrina II. For me, this is the top shoe of the year, potentially top shoe of all time. I mean, Sabrina Ionescu is a women's basketball player, and I think there are some aspects to this shoe that are designed for women's basketball. The durability is not great, so they do break down, but I bought so many pairs of these because honestly the performance is top of the line. I think the colorways are great. They have a very similar silhouette to a Kobe 5, and for me, this is like my shoe. I played 90% of my games in these this year, and I swear, I'm not kidding, it makes me feel more athletic. It's probably superstition, but that's how I feel about them. Again, on the durability, it takes about 1 to 2 months for me to kind of like break these down. If you look at this other colorway I have, this was about a month and a half, and you're seeing all this ripping and tearing in the mesh area, but still super great shoe. My favorite of the year. I'm gonna give them a 10 out of 10 in terms of style. I just love how they look, love how they feel, and so for comfort, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10, and performance, I'm gonna give them a 9 out of 10 just because they break down so fast. So overall, top sneaker of 2024, 2025. Overall rating, 9.7 out of 10. They take the cake to the Kobe 6. These are my top shoe. Now my final shoe is the James Harden 8s. I got 2 pairs of these. Kind of took a risk getting these because I had the Harden 7s last year and they had a big issue in the toe box, my pinky toe. I get a blister every single time. So honestly, that was my least favorite shoe of last year. But these ones are a little bit better. They definitely took some precautions to that. I didn't get as many blisters and my feet got used to them a lot faster. I think these have the best cushion of any shoe this year. The heel box is incredible. They have the boost in the heel, so it really feels like you're playing on clouds. They also have this kind of mesh lacing system, which is unique. It kind of feels like a sock. The only issue is when you lace them up tight, the laces can kind of choke your foot a little bit. The other issue they had was on this inside here, or inside part here, it kind of dug into the inside part of my ankle and I got a blister there as well. But besides those 2 blister points, this shoe is incredibly comfortable, and this is a great shoe for me. Maybe I really beat myself to the ground in the last game and I want more cushion for, you know, a recovery practice or something. This is the shoe I'm gonna use. So I liked them so much that I also bought the Harden 9s. I can't really give a review on these. I have only worn them once, so, you know, my opinion would be pretty jaded. They've been hard to break in. One time they felt like blocks, but I think once I break these in, they'll be great. They look good. I like the look of the 9s better than the 8s, but still, the jury's still out on the Harden 9s. But in terms of the Harden 8s, I'm giving the style an 8. I really like it. It's unique. It's not like any other shoe. You're gonna know that you're wearing Hardens when people see these. And they have a lot of cool colorways. They have all these different colorways of this part. I really like it. In terms of comfort, I'm giving them an 8 out of 10, mainly because that heel. It would be a 10 out of 10 if there wasn't some blisters and stuff like that. But again, maybe I just have wide feet. Maybe you won't get the blisters, but I've heard a lot of people complain about it. And then in terms of performance, I'm gonna give them an 8 out of 10. They feel great, you feel cushioned, but the only issue is they're a little heavy. And so sometimes, you know, if your legs aren't feeling fresh, you can kind of feel like they're slowing you down a little bit. So overall, kind of as you expected, the Harden 8 gets an 8 out of 10. Now that I've shared with you guys all the sneakers in my current rotation, I'm super stoked to finally reveal my newest edition. They just came in the mail from kicks.com. I've seen these online, haven't seen them in person, so this is my first time, the final reveal, what the Kobe 8s.
I manifested the motive, the mission. Had got sick of sitting around and just wishing I roll up the sleeves to get out and go get it.
Oh my goodness. I mean, they're 2 different color shoes. All the different colorways are a tribute to different Kobe's. Growing up, these were the shoes that I was envious of all the kids on the AU circuit that had with the Kobe's. I'm like, couldn't ever get my hands on them. Finally got them, and yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna wear these. Like, to be honest, might just keep them on ice. And also, you know what I think about the Kobe 8 drop insole. I'm not sure about the performance. We got the playoffs coming up. I'm half and half. Maybe they just stay in my closet, but they're gonna look great on the shelf or they're gonna look great on feet. We'll see. Yeah, if you guys liked my sneaker rotation, comment your favorite shoes, comment which shoes you wear in your season. I'm super interested to hear you guys' thoughts. But again, huge thank you to Kicks for not only supplying me these super exclusive Kobe 8s, but also just supporting Atypical in the channel. It's been super dope. It's been great. As always, get uncomfortable, live atypical, and make sure you like and subscribe to this video. Cheers.
She said, yeah, I know. Wish I can make it easier. I can, I just know right and wrong.